A court in Costa Rica has ordered the release of migrants deported from the United States of America. And it looks to me like humanitarian criteria has been used in their situation. Welcome back to the channel. This is Sharma Roussel, living at El Canal in Grecia, sharing information about moving to Costa Rica, retiring in Costa Rica, and living in Costa Rica. So I am asked this question frequently: what happened to the deportees from the United States who arrived in Costa Rica? And I have not kept up with it on a regular basis, but I wanted to share with you what I have learned about the situation. It certainly is a topic that I would be interested in if I were thinking about relocating to a foreign country. I would want to know, how people were treated in a situation like this. So some of the information that I'm going to share with you comes from the BBC, the British Broadcasting Corporation, which I trust as a reliable, professional journalistic source. So if you will remember, back in February, 200 people arrived in Costa Rica, including 80 children from Afghanistan, Ghana, China, India, and Vietnam. And they were placed in a shelter called the Temporary Migrant Care Center, which is near the border between Costa Rica and Panama. Now, at the time, a human rights organization said that they were all being held arbitrarily and illegally for more than 60 days with no access to due process, no access to legal counsel, and really no access to information in a language that they understood. They were granted temporary special status in April here in Costa Rica. They were allowed to move outside of the shelter to look for jobs. Some have been voluntarily repatriated to their homelands, to Afghanistan, China, Ghana, India, and Vietnam. In April, 28 of them still remained in the shelter, and since then, even more have been released. So let me bring you up to date to today in July. Now, the government of Costa Rica allows migrants deported from the United States to work legally in Costa Rica, and that usually is not allowed in Costa Rica. People from outside cannot move here and work here. Take away a job from a Costa Rican. They have to bring their own money to live on when they move from outside of Costa Rica into Costa Rica. But for these 25 people who are left, they are allowed to look for a job and go to work in Costa Rica. They still live at the detention center because they have access to food and shelter and bathing facilities, so that then that they can leave when they need to look for a job or to go to work. So it sounds to me like humanitarian criteria has been applied to these migrants in this particular situation. A $55 immigration fee has been lifted for them. It does not apply to them. And I honestly cannot remember if I paid a $55 immigration fee when I moved here 6 months ago. I'm assuming that I did. But some authority with some common sense, realizes that their situation is very different from my situation and from the situation of most people who voluntarily moved to Costa Rica. So that $55 immigration fee has been lifted for them. Certainly, we know they did not arrive here of their own free will. Uh, they can stay here temporarily for 6 months, 180 days, just like I can, since I am not yet a resident of Costa Rica. So they can stay here for 6 months, uh, and that privilege can be revoked if they commit a crime. Now, I cannot tell that any of the immigrants who arrived here in Costa Rica from the United States have committed any crime at all, either the ones that still remain here or the ones who have already gone back to their native lands. As far as I can tell, they did not commit any crimes while they were here. So it sounds to me like the rule of law has been applied in this situation in Costa Rica with kindness and compassion instead of cruelty and disregard for due process and human rights. And so that's something that I was very happy to learn about and wanted to share with you, especially those of you who have asked about it. So, again, I have not kept up with this situation on a regular basis. So, if you have alternative information or additional information, or if you just need to completely correct something that I have stated in this video segment, then please put it in the comment section so that we can all discuss it and learn from one another. Pura vida. Ciao.